Hey guys, welcome back to TJ's Model Trains in day 3 of 25 Days of Christmas with TJ 2024. So yesterday we took a look at my chassis system U30C that I picked up back over the summer. As I said yesterday, it wasn't something I particularly thought I was ever going to own, but once I got it, especially with the fixed pilots, it's probably one of my favorites in the collection. The engine we're going to look at here for day 3 actually has been featured before last year. However, it actually wasn't mine. I know, weird. But in a weird change of events, it actually ended up being mine. And this thing has traveled quite a bit, being that it actually rode in my lap in the backseat of a car for 8.5 hours coming back from Pittsburgh last December. Then it took a trip to Florida in January of this year. And then in September of this year, it got offered back to me, and I decided that I needed to bring it back because I really didn't like having to take it to Florida back in January and give it up. But we'll get into that when we get there. But again, the reason why I got this or got it back, I do spend quite a bit of time down in Florida visiting with Tom and Zach and Fred and all the other guys down in Florida. And I just thought I needed to own a little bit of it in my collection. And I think it's pretty interesting. I don't actually own a Premier version, or actually I don't own any version of it anymore. I actually sold the Rail King versions of this particular model I had. So it was good to have a Premier version and have it represented in the collection. But again, I think it's just a really cool paint scheme. I like blue. If you haven't caught on, I like blue boxes. Atlas. You got a blue FJ. Tend to like blue. But let's go ahead and dive into this engine and we'll see what I'm talking about. We'll see you guys tomorrow for day 4. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up and bring it out of the tunnel. So obviously by looking at it, it is an FEC GP9. This was a custom run by Tony down at Roundhouse South back in 2022. And the craziest part about this is I actually found this engine back last December in Pittsburgh at a TCA show. Got an unbelievable deal on it, and I actually bought a custom run from Roundhouse South, FEC ES44, and Tom had bought this. Well, it actually rode in my lap in the car 8.5 hours back that day after the show back to the Carolinas, and then it stayed here and was featured in a video last year for 25 Days of Christmas 2023, and then I took it down to Florida in January and handed it off to Tom. Well, fast forward to September, we're at Tony's shop down in Florida looking at things, looking at different Jeep9s, and Tom goes, you know, I think I'm going to get rid of the Hurricane logo Jeep9 and get another Champion scheme. So of course, with that being said, it had to come home with me because Tom always influences me to buy things that I don't need. But like I said, I absolutely love it. It ties into something I don't have. I love the candy cane striping, and I've been wanting to buy more 4-axle engines. I might eventually put fixed pilots on it, but I really don't want to paint those stripes. So it will probably end up with just Katie's and run the way it is. But let's go ahead and fire this thing up, or bring the volume up rather. Get this thing running around the layout, and I'd also like to point out and say thank you to Tom again. The beautiful cars that are sitting behind it as the backdrop, which you'll see running around the layout, will be delivered to him hopefully later this month. But they are a beautiful FEC set that he picked up, and they'll be running around with his engine. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for day 4. Appreciate you guys for watching. One quick thing I wanted to touch on before we get the FEC Jeep running around. I did just want to comment about this bay window caboose. This caboose was also a custom run through Tony at Roundhouse South. And the cool thing about this, a portion of the sales from each caboose went to actually help secure funding for the restoration and transportation of the real 806 FEC bay window caboose to the Port Orange Historical Society in Florida. One of the cool things for it, why I bought it, was it did go into helping restore the real one. There's a little bit of benefit there, and it makes you feel good when you buy something. It kind of at least gives you a good cause for your craziness of buying toy trains. And hopefully one day, when I get down there again, I'll be able to go see the real one and be thankful that I was able to help make that happen. So without further ado, let's get into running this engine.